Hello, hello, everybody. It is Sunday. I am making lunch because I just got back from grocery shopping and everybody was hungry because we didn't eat breakfast since we needed groceries and slept in this morning. We are out of a lot more things than I anticipated us being out of, but that's okay. We are all taken care of now. That was the first time I had been into a grocery store in like 3 weeks at least, minimum. My husband usually goes to the store and I stay home with the kids. We're trying to limit exposure as much as we can. Our twin babies are high risk. Sorry. Our twin babies are high risk because they have respiratory issues. Since they were born, they've had them. And they were recently hospitalized with pneumonia and RSV. So they are considered high risk, so we don't go out. They don't go out, nobody comes in. We are pretty hunkered down. Therefore, since my husband is still working, he does most of the grocery shopping, but my sanity needed me to get out of the house. And I offered to do the grocery shopping. I meal planned and I made my list and went and did my shopping. Up here in Alaska, we currently still have a hunkered down order. So you're only supposed to be leaving the house for essentials or to go outside and exercise and get fresh air. Otherwise, none of our fun things are open yet. Theaters are still closed. All the fun centers, the play areas, all the playgrounds are all closed, as well as indoor playgrounds and things like that. So we are still pretty well stuck at home all the time, which I don't have a problem with. I would rather be safe than sorry. There are people out there who think otherwise, but that's their prerogative. I take precautions because it's what's best for my family. Sweet. So we just hang out, and we've finally got some warmer weather, and the snow is starting to finally melt. So we were able to go outside last night, and the little ones played. They are 7 months old, so it's a little bit more challenging to go outside with them. But now that it's starting to warm up, we finally get to go outside, which is awesome. We're going to teach our 5-year-old how to ride his bike today without training wheels, and that's super exciting. We can't wait. He has been asking for a week now at least to learn how to ride his bike without training wheels. He's super excited about being a big boy. So yeah, found it quite interesting. I went to the store, and when I went to the store for the first time, all the changes that have been placed. They had none of our checkout areas at this grocery store that I had gone to did not have any of the plexiglass like some stores do, separating the cashiers from the customers. But there were a lot more restrictions. There was only one person to be checking out at a time. The person next in line had to stand 6 feet behind and wait until the person in front of them was completely done with their transaction, and the cashier called them forward, the next person forward. And surprisingly, up here in Alaska, they recently put out a mandate, or not a mandate, but a suggestion stating that if you're out in public, you should be wearing a mask because you're protecting yourself from potentially getting somebody else's saliva or cough and infecting you, which people don't seem to understand. That they think that the mask is supposed to be protecting you, and so other people get really defensive over it. and are like, well, that's not work, that doesn't protect you. But it does. It's not to protect you from airborne, it's to protect you from other people's saliva or cough. But anyways, so when I was in the store, I wear a mask and I brought hand sanitizer. I did not wear gloves because I don't feel that gloves are necessary, because I brought hand sanitizer and I sanitize my hands often. But I was wearing a mask, and there was actually about a quarter of the people in there that were wearing masks. Like, I could count on two hands people in there wearing masks. I was quite surprised. Our grocery stores, people are still going crazy and buying out everything in the grocery store, I swear, because we had no dried beans, and I needed that because I was going to make a ham and beans soup tomorrow, but there was no dried beans, there was no flour, which I didn't need that, but I was down that aisle for something else and I noticed it was not there. I did need canned vegetables, and my babies are eating canned vegetables with us. They're learning to eat with their fingers and stuff, so they're able to eat canned green beans, and they love green beans. So I went to go pick up some green beans. Well, they only had 5 individual cans left. They did not have any of the boxes of canned green beans that you would get from like Costco, or they had the big can of it, like the big 3-pound can or whatever it is, 5-pound can, I think it's number 3 can, and that was just crazy. And then I noticed that there was like no rice. Silly things, just silly things. You're like, why? We only do grocery shopping once a week or once every 2 weeks, where we buy quite a bit of groceries like I did today. So it was just quite boggling to me that there were still a lot of things gone. But yeah, we are making do, and I found alternatives to my needs that I couldn't find. So yeah, that's how we're kind of doing things. We are making the best of it, and I'm going to be doing more meal planning. So if you've got any suggestions and tips on how to meal plan, please throw them my way. We're not doing like specific days with the meal plans, but I did make a list of like, okay, this is what I have, this is what we could make, this is what we haven't had in a while. So I wrote out 7 meals for the next week, and then I added everything that I needed off of that I didn't have to my list of groceries. So if you would like me to do a video on meal planning, that I can do that. Throw your suggestions in the comments, and as always, subscribe and like.